And we might now potentially see like a Doom or something coming through for KP if they want it as the position 3.
TNC yeah, I want to see it. Yep. I mean, just with that Skywrath Mage pick, it's great as well, right? Like, you can just get on top, you're super mobile, so you don't really care all that much about the Skywrath until at least he's got an ATOS, but by that point, you're a Doom, so you're probably going to have a BKB just to be able to shrug that off. Might even opt to go into something, I don't know, like a Lotus Orb or something along those lines. But probably a little less so. But yeah, good against the Void, good against the Void Spirit, good against the Skywrath Mage. Why not?
I think you're going to need to try and go for a hero as your position 3 that's really enabled to play with the Skywrath Mage. And this Mystic Flare doesn't have the longest cooldown, especially once you get a couple more levels in it. They ban the Terrorblade. So what, they think it's a Void support?
Maybe like Elder Titan 3, like we were thinking.
Interesting. I mean, you've highlighted that Neon have tried to run that a couple times, so it would be very interesting to see, because they do have a lot of damage in the Chrono Sky ulti, ET as well. I do still want, like, if the Void's going to be core, I'd like to see position 3 who's able to have a pretty low cooldown, easy way to play with the Sky, blink forward, and, you know, find that setup for the Mystic Flare. The Legion's always one, the Axe is another.
10 seconds remaining.
Wonder why they're getting rid of the Anti-Mage then, you know? It feels like Anti-Mage would be the perfect hero that Motivate might want them to pick if they were just saying, like, look, Axe, Legion, Counterspell doesn't matter, right? You can just get that combo off, burst him down, screw up their entire momentum.
The only reason I can think of the AM ban is if they want like a Sand King as this last pick. I'm trying to think if they go for a 3 that the AM would be able to play well into. Although the issue is that you don't have, even if they pick the Anti-Mage, you know, Motivate have this Ultra last pick. So yeah, I guess it's protecting what they already have at the moment. And well, TNC, they're looking for their position 1 here. See what they're going to be able to give over to Gabby. They even ban out the Arc Warner, so they really feel like this, well, at least something's going to get switched up.
TNC Predators turn team pick. Drow Ranger.
Okay. It's alright. Spectre's gone. PA is gone. Ricky's gone. Don't mind it.
I think
10 seconds remaining.
Well, the Drow's going to be able to just take objectives and come online before the Void, which is a big issue. That hero is pretty reliant on their cooldown. They are reliant on this Chrono connecting and then ET Sky following up. So unless the Void Spirit's able to have a decent game, but he's in a rough matchup here. Doom's one of the best heroes to deal with him. They got multi-silencers, Grimstroke as well with the Soulbind. So they've really identified how to deal with the Void Spirit, and now they're going to have a lot of ways to really just take this game early. I'm intrigued what Motivate can do in this last pick.
Yeah, so what they've got 2 silencers, 1 mobility reducer, Doom with Doom. So that's 4 ways at the moment, and that's without even counting any, you know, if Doom was to get a Dark Troll Summoner for the net, or if they get a Clumsy net from the neutral camps. It's a lot of ways to deal with Void, and perhaps force him into an earlier BKB that he might like. So I'm liking TNC's draft so far.
At least Dire have this ultra last pick where they can play around with, see what they can pick up and try and have this really strong matchup. But yeah, I'm a big fan of TNC's draft as well at the moment. I think this pick is going to have to be pretty goddamn perfect for Motivate to take it. Is TNC think the Void to support? What is the probability of that being the case, do you think?
The Void Spirit?
Well, they think the Faceless Void's going to be support, right?
Nah. I think it's Elder Titan 5, Void 1, Void Spirit 2, Skywrath 4. So we're waiting on the 3. They might be wrong.
Yeah, I'm just intrigued that they banned out the TB and the Arc Warden. Yeah, that's what I'm like. Like, what's the probability that they actually play the Faceless Void as a 5? And well, Centaur could be okay. They're gonna Zeus.
You may now select
Centaur
your heroes.
would reset the fight after Doom because they don't have. So what do they do? Zeus,
Void Spirit 3.
Okay.
Man, this was a nice little treat for myself. Fearless, he's playing mid up against Armel. Should be an okay time. you just don't have the tower taking potential at all on that team, which I'm a little bit worried about.
It is a lot of damage for Chrono, like a lot of damage.
And no one really wants to go first either, right? Like
exactly, yeah.
If Nevermind goes in, we mentioned all the different ways that they have to silence it. What can you do?
I don't. At least Zeus is a hero who's going to be able to dish out a lot of damage from afar and not have to worry about getting on top of the drow. But I just feel like Fearless more than likely, we see this Ags rush, and you really just like to play on your side of the map, mass farm the jungle, get involved occasionally whenever you got your ultimate. But I'm a big fan of TNC's draft here. I think they just have the ways to deal with the Void Spirit, have the ways to deal with the Faceless Void, and Doom. If KP has a good game and the Leshrac as well, they're just literally going to run him down.
I think with just speaking of KP as well, I think they might leave him on his own for the very start. Just have Febby and Tims towards the top lane. Maybe go for a first blood. You'll be able to have the slow coming out from the Drow Ranger. Febby, I don't think he'll opt to go for the Orb of Venom. I think they'll just be able to use the either the Ink Swell or the Stroke of Fate to slow them down a little bit to get that first blood, just to lead the lane off a little well. And honestly, even if Febby gets the last hit, it's going to be fine, because he's going to have a rough time going up against this Void Spirit and the Skyrath. They're just going to be pumping out constant harassment onto him.
Yeah, Void Spirit's actually one of the better position 3s to lane versus the Undying. I mean, not being the strength hero is always going to feel nice, and your trade, at least with the Resonant Pulse, is going to stop some of that physical damage that the Undying would do after the decay, so it's relatively decent. I'm intrigued to see if he picks up a Windlace to start, just to try and have the increased movement speed to make sure he can play the distance, especially with the Frost Arrow slow. He goes Ring of Protection, Quelling Blade. Okay, so just a little bit of armor instead.
Yeah, but I would have to agree with you. I'm liking TNC's draft overall.
The next label play.
Let's see how this one's going to end up breaking out here for TNC and Motivate. Unfortunately, we got another good old C pause to start, a couple of 5s as well. Did you work out what the 5s were? Was it a translate? How last
I think it's
game?
maybe it's just like laughing.
Using numbers to laugh.
Like, I know in some other languages, if you like spam K, that's the equivalent of laughing. I don't know. We're pretty basic here in English,
Yeah, goddamn.
Just ha ha ha.
English language, literally just how it sounds.
Or that, like in Korean, it's the backwards F, I think, is what laughing is.
Is it really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's languages, how fascinating they can be. See,
if you had to have like, I have no idea whatever that means, but if you had to have any sort of superpower or like ungodly ability, I think it would be really awesome to have just be able to speak every single language,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there would be a lot of goddamn awesome superpowers as well. But what you could do with knowing multiple languages is just like the amount of intel you can soak up from a wide variety of people where you wouldn't really naturally be able to speak to them without knowing that language. So would be quite awesome being able to have that capability of kind of speaking to anyone you really want.
Yeah, like when you're taking the train and there's these people that are talking about you, can actually understand what's going on, and be like, you know what, my shirt actually does look nice. Don't talk shit about me.
They're talking shit in another language, and that's when then you can they don't think you understand, then you just hit them back before you get off the train, and you see something and you're like, actually my shirt is nice, thanks for that.
And then everyone stands up and claps.
Yeah, just the claps, the perfect way to end it. And they're like, ooh, and then they feel like they're the dumbasses. They're like, oh, what the hell just happened? But I'd have to agree. I think the power of languages and learning a couple and knowing a couple. It's so goddamn hard to learn a language though. We've already, English, one of the harder ones, and then also trying to learn an extra one on top of that, man. It doesn't feel nice.
Oh, the amount of things in English is just absolutely screwed. Like lead, and lead, there, and there, all that sort of stuff.
Just good old
30
English.
seconds to battle.
It's one of the tricky ones. still working on it day by days. We got TNC and Motivate. They're working, day by day in the groups. 1 day a piece here. We are seeing every team play once, which is always nice. It just gives us the the difference in kind of play style from team to team. So at least it doesn't mean they have to play like 2 games on 1 day, then we don't see them for 2 days. But we might have a little bit of a contention for some of the runes here. See who's going to have the faster fingers. Those Q's going to be able to find that, and that should be 3 for Motivate. So a little bit of an advantage to start.
Nicely done. One other thing as well, as Febby was just standing there trying to contest that bottom rune, who's going to hit the tomb?
That is true, actually. Who is going to hit the tomb? I mean, at least you've got the ET and Zeus like to scout out, mainly the Astral. But it's not going to matter if no one's going to hit the goddamn tomb. So yeah, it seems like you just keep looking at the draft even more. So how to Motivate win this game? Even though we're both not too much of a fan of their draft, what do you think is the way they're able to take this?
Maybe go a little bit more aggressive than a lot of traditional Faceless Voids might opt to go. So you can see he's already got a lot queued up there, going straight into the Mask of Madness, not opting to go for a BKB or anything like that, and just be really active.
Is that your
maybe go for a super early Ag Scepter or something like that, just so that you can just constantly be moving around the map trying to make kills happen and respond to the aggression that's coming through from the Drow.
Radiant's middle tower is under
the one
attack.
issue is though is that the Void is still always relying on the Chrono, and that's why you're kind of highlighting if he goes for a couple more early items. That might mean he doesn't have to rely on it as much, but I'm just worried that the Drow is a hero who's going to be able to kind of group up early, not need as many items as what the Void, and doesn't have this kind of cooldown reliance as well, where you can just group up, help take objectives, get some map control, and then really limit what farm Motivator are going to be able to get across the map.
That is true. Well, Gabby, he's been pushed underneath his tower. He's not going to mind all that much, just because it means, you're a Drow Ranger. You're happy if people aren't in your face, taking some of your health away. But the pulls happen, so the lane equilibrium should look to reset relatively soon. Just rushing straight into this Atos here, so you can see from Motivate that is kind of the name of their game. Of course, with a Skywrath, it's always what you want to do, just go for these pickoffs, but it's just even more vital. Going for the first item earn on Nevermind as well. They're just going to look to snowball through with that.
At least with the Void Spirit in the offlane, it's going to be a hero that can play, with the Skywrath Mage. If he doesn't, I'm intrigued if he does go for the Yule Scepter as the next item, because he's going to need something defensive this game. He might just go BKB pretty early as well, but you jump forward, get the Remnant to set up. Even Atos can just set up for the Remnant.
Savage. Ooh, he just gets away. Perfect timing on the zip. Only level 2, so having to be very careful about when he opts to move forward a little bit too much. Would have been a dead dodo if he was standing there next to the Ink Swollen KP with the Frost attack, by the way. So he's a very slow mover.
See, Febby will be able to scout out that this camp is blocked, considering Q was trying to body block it himself just to make sure he didn't reveal that the ward was situated there, but unfortunately Q got pushed out of the range there, so I wouldn't be surprised if Febby's got some... It's actually not bringing anything out, so just a ward, clarity, and salve, no sentries just yet.
And Febby's got the Undying set that I want. He's got the one with the
actually,
cool
can they bring down
tombstone.
the Void? Tim's doesn't have the mana for the Stroke of Fate. Let's see, what's the set? The one with the tomb?
Yeah,
yeah,
hover
that
over the
one.
tombstone.
Yeah.
It looks awesome. Oh,
It
Febby,
is.
speaking of, he might be going down on this bottom side. He's getting chased up a little bit, but the Frost Arrows are going to dissuade them from trying to chase him up. That one armor on Q might be his downfall, and it is.
Gabby, nicely done. He's going to be able to pick up first blood, and now Nevermind as well, continuing forward. He's got the Remnant. Going to run into it on the Drow Ranger, and now Nevermind with the follow-up. He might be able to get an extra, though. Febby's still pretty hard to bring down. Okay, he's up in a couple seconds, but Dissimulate under the tower. Nevermind gets a double kill down bot. Really nicely played, and that's all solo experience for him. He's already level 4 and 3/4 in.
You'll love to see it. Trying his best to shove the wave in underneath the tower. Drow's going to get there in time, though.
Alright.
Sure that he's there to soak up all of that experience.
B
Very
because of Mr. Boombell.
That was the Inkswell. just used in combination with the Scorched Earth. All this increased movement speed, you're gonna get someone in the laning stage, and Savage is doing a pretty good job to make sure that that's not him.
You even got the frost attack slow as well, just to make it even more difficult. That if you get the right click on Savage, and even if he time walks away, you should be able to follow up and continue chasing. So they do have to be relatively careful, which I wouldn't be surprised to see some aggression eventually come through with like a rotation to really put pressure on. Because Armo, I mean, he's got 3 points up in the Edict, so if he gets a nice little power in, we'll be able to really make that rotation there. As move out top. Might get going on here. KP pops the Scorched. Now he's in trouble. Doesn't really have a hero that's going to be able to help him out in the position one. They do get Gabby though down bot here, so we see Nevermind is having such an incredible lane so far, but it's a 1-for-1 across the map. Second death here for the Drow though.
Doing a lot of damage. That Urn, you know, of course, just coming back into the equation. How much, what's the net worth looking like? Across both of the position ones, it's essentially identical. So Doom's always going to have a favorable lane against something like a Faceless Void, just due to being able to be a lot more sustainable. Giving him the extra armor was honestly a godsend for something like Doom.
Down bot, Nevermind's got the ulti now. This just might be an extra death for Gabby. As with the Thunder God's Wrath coming through, this is a great start for Motivate. Febby might be in trouble as well. Unfortunately, Nevermind unable to follow up with the ultimates, but Febby's slowed down thanks to the concussive, and now they're blocked off in the trees as well. That's just more Urns, and they've got a catapult wave too. Unfortunately, no creeps to be able to keep that one alive, and not like the Void Spirit can really tank that up. So your bottom's not going too great. At least top we see TNC and have a nice time, but they don't want to die. Boom Bolt, whilst right click will be enough. Tim's going to claim that. That's his first kill.
Running a little bit low on the old HP as well as Savage. He's going to time walk that one off, but he's not really in a position where he can just go straight back into the lane. Inkswell's coming back off cooldown in another 3 seconds, and wouldn't surprise me if they tried to make a dive under the tower. That's why he's positioning himself so defensively.
And Lesh is coming over as well. He's just going to cut the wave, and they really want to try and utilize this because then, I mean, Savage doesn't have Chrono just yet, and he doesn't have a potential to fight KP with the ultimate. The rotation is going to come through for the Void Spirit. Echo Stomp. It's going to disrupt them a little bit, but it looks like they might still be trouble. Nevermind drags back KP. He's going to follow up once again with the extra ulti. Somehow Savage is still alive. They don't get the deny. Armel last stick with a Pulse Nova, and now gets a follow-up stun connection. Nevermind's going to have to try and retreat through the tree line here. Bottled up is the Lesh. He's got 2 more charges as well, and now they're going to be able to find Nevermind too with the Dissimulate on cooldown. Although he goes just through the lane instead of trying to juke back up through the tree. And once again, man, Gabby's still playing the lane. 4 deaths at the moment for your Drow.
I guess he's thinking, surely they're not going to have the resources to be able to take me down, but Fearless just makes the rotation through. I mean, when all of these respawns happen, he's ready to go again. He's got the Thunder God's Wrath in another 15 seconds.
And you see how active they're able to get with the Void Spirit because of the great start, you know, the levels he's getting involved. But even got to keep in mind the Skyath Mage as well. Like, he's going to have a pretty decent 6 timing. You know, he's already 5 and about a quarter here. And this is a hero who you get a lot of your damage from your levels.
Oh, Royal Jelly, that's really nice. Is he going to take that for himself, or is he giving it over to the Zeus? Come on, you've got to give it to Zeus. There we go. I suppose when you're new to the team, you don't want to be doing something like that where you take it.
Just gets you kicked.
Yeah, we just check Facebook, and immediately it's like, Motivate.Trust have come to the terms of Nevermind's separation. Oh, look at this big farm by Gabby. My
and they get up there
tomb.
fast enough though, and they get the kill. But it's such a cool tombstone, and it opens up a little bit. Yeah, that is really. Wait, can I?
Chrono? There we go. They're getting onto Armel here, but it's a level 6 Faceless Void against a Pulse Nova at Armel.
There's no rotations coming through just yet for the left track, and now thanks to the Skyath Mage's Ancient Seal followed up with the Thunder God's Wrath, Motivate have been able to find their 9th kill of the game and utilizing that Chronosphere as well. So, I mean, you do see Gabby at least wasn't contested with farming up around the jungle side, but man, Motivate are playing this game very well early.
For sure.
KP's got boots of travel.
Yeah, I think you just need to be able to chase down as much as possible. You know, force the Faceless Void to put a few more points into the time walk just to be able to get away, because time block is what you need. Ooh.
Radiant's bottom
He'll
tower
get away.
is under
Is it
attack.
just like the immense amount of
Dire's
movement speed?
top
We just want
tower is
to
under
continuously like chase him down, like the Sky, the Zeus. Make sure like the Void if he time walks just to close the distance.
Yeah, and you know, you're pretty decent at pushing lanes if you're on your own, and with the start that most
Radiant
Dooms have, you're
structures are
never really
fortified.
going to have any danger of people
Radiant's
trying to
bottom
kill you,
tower
or
is
at least
under
being
attack.
successful in their attempts to kill you.
Dire's top
And that means you
tower
can do
is
that on
under
your own.
attack.
And
Did
then
they
when everyone
armor?
else is grouping up, you can just go ahead and kill them.
Gets the kill. Is now going to chase down Q as well, but going a little bit too antsy there. As you saw the attempt with the Void Spirit and the Skyeth Mage to set up for that Mystic Flare. They do get a bit of a streak there. 473 gold for Armel getting the kill on top of the Void Spirit, but it does cost him his life around that 10-minute mark. So we got the bounties and also the first outpost getting controlled.
Were you watching?
Wonder when Boombell's going to get his first point into the natural order. Such a valuable value point that you can get, especially when you've got something like a Skyreth Mage and a Zeus along your team.
Radiant
40%
are scanning.
magic resistance reduction. Pretty effective.
That's going to be another nice one for Fearless as well. Keen Optic even gets an Arcane
Dire's
Ring too.
top
This
tower is under
some of
attack.
the better neutral items for
Dire's
someone like an Intel
structures are
spamming
fortified.
hero like the Zeus, and he just continuously farming up. I mean, he's already got 2 components of the Aghanim, so he's gonna have a very good timing here top lane though. Might have some aggression as the Tombstone drop. Never mind, man, immense amount of damage with that Soul Rip. He doesn't have
Radiant's
any
bottom
ultis
tower
though,
is under
so
attack.
he's just gonna get chased down through the trees, cuts through, but the zombies instantly finding him and be his demise there as KP will claim it. They're going to smoke up instantly though. They really want to continue hunting, try and get through the jungle because they're roundabout aware of where the Zeus is going to be positioning, although instead they might just try and go for Q.
See you later, Q.
Showing in the lane so they don't get something like a Zeus. So the smoke for support, but they're going to catapult too. Do they want to utilize those pickoffs to push?
I don't know if they're quite in a position to just yet, just because they used the Tombstone previously. I think you need that to be able to
Dire's
fight
top
around.
tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
There's the double boots of travel. Savage actually might be getting set up from KP. Needs some help that's going to come through from the outpost, but
Cancels the
Radiant's
TP
bottom
actually
tower
on
is
Tim's.
under attack.
So they're just going to back off. Excuse me, farm this wave up a little bit here. KP just plopping himself in that lane. And going to Glimmer Cape actually. So just wanting to be able to sustain himself on those front lines.
the moment, I mean, we've had a very even game so far. Just a 1,000 net worth lead for TNC. They do have the Chronosphere up and ready to go for the Void if he wants to try and make a play happen. I mean, if the issue is though, if you pop that Chrono, then it's really going to enable TNC to make a play knowing that the big ult is on cooldown.
So that just means that you need to be... So much attention needs to be paid towards catching the high impact heroes, and right now it feels like Gabby, he's not the high impact hero. It is absolutely Armel on this Leshrac.
They're going to try and smoke up and make their way towards the top side, where they did already just see Febby and Armel positioning here. So see if they can connect up with the smoke and get a kill at the moment. You keep in mind, Radiant, they've got the Doom available, you know, the double Doom as well if the Soulbind's there.
Febby's putting his body in the way, but we'll back off, realizing that, you know, if there's no team nearby, it's probably not even worth popping the smoke.
Oh, he does. Attempted a TP, but unfortunately just gonna cost him his life. I mean, it is a Chrono from Savage. You see instantly, you know, KP is gonna shove in, but it's gonna get pushed in as well. Is the Glimmer Cape now completed for the Doom? So just that extra magic resistance and, you know, some help inside the Chrono as well, because they're gonna have pretty much all magic damage in Chrono.
Oh yeah. Gabby, he's opted to go for a Midas, so he's catching up on levels, almost reaching that level 10 mark, which is going to be nice to have. Probably not going to go for the Gust Blind, just because, you know, it's only the Faceless Void that you're really worrying about that kind of damage.
He's just using the illusion to try and stack up the jungle.
Middle tower
Febby.
is under attack.
Nimbus.
It's just gonna be another little pick off for them. Getting the Aghanim's already completed for the Zeus that was actually freshly picked up here, so
Radiant's
we
middle
haven't
tower
really seen
is
like a
under
full
attack.
brawl in a team fight, but it looks like Radiant might want to try and do so now. The Nimbus on cooldown, they know the Chrono's down as well, but the smoke's gonna pop. Boom Belt. A bit of a tricky
Man, he's
spot here
fast.
is, man, 550 movement speed. KP just races down the Elder Titan. You know, both teams are still holding this tier 1 tower, so you see it is making it very difficult for them to make these aggressive infiltration movements into the jungle, really just allowing Gabby to be able to catch up at the try, and the Zeus and Void just continuously farming up in their jungle safely too.
What I'm looking out for as well is, like we mentioned before in the draft, A, how are they going to get hit tombstones in team fights, and B, how are they actually going to take objectives on Motivate? They've been lucky enough that this bottom lane was pushed out because of how many kills that they got onto Gabby, that he felt he just had to leave the lane. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have taken any until this point, so just goes to show how important the laning phase is and how impactful Nevermind and Q were towards his team, their team's chances.
KP, look at this TP. Is he actually going to get it off? Oh my god.
Ooh, a little slow.
What a spot. They
had the Nimbus. That was a bit slow.
Now KP actually top. He's going to try and find Fearless as well, who's in trouble here. You have a way to be able to cancel the TP. Commits the Doom to it.
He can't even get out.
Even need too much help there, and that's a big kill. That was the first death of the game here. Meanwhile, mid though, they're trying to go on top of Febby, who will end up paying the price. The Void Spirit and the Skywrath Mage. This is almost the ATOS completed as well. Just needs about 65 more gold until he's able to pick that one up.
And they've got the Yule Scepter as well on Nevermind now, so I mean that is one way to slow down someone who's rampaging forward like KP. You just toss that onto him, you remove a lot of that chase potential that can come through.
What has Savage got so far? So he's going to go for the MKB as the next item. Quarterstaff, Javelin is... they haven't been able to find him as many times this game as what they would hope, and if Savage can really start to find the items, the thing is that the Drow had a bit of a rougher time as well, so kind of was forced to go for the Midas and get the catch up, so we haven't really seen him getting involved as much to group up and take these objectives. Usually Drow is very that lineup is able to take a tier 1 mid at a decent timing, but that's still up for Motivate.
Okay, we just continue the push forward on the top side, making sure that it's always an area that is a little bit concerning for Motivate.Trust. Fearless, he's forced to keep himself here. He's worried because of that last death that people might look to rotate through onto him, but mid lane, it looks like they've caught out Nevermind.
Well, wrap around Savage, nice chrono, finds 4. The Mystic Flare now with the combination coming through from Boombell. They're straight on top of the Drow Ranger. Feb is in trouble as well with the sleep, stops the fall damage on the Leshrac, and Armel, that's the full sleep duration, so they just find the rest of the team and now turn their attention to Armel. He at least gets a kill before his death. KP coming over to think about cleaning up, but I mean, not much you can do without the Doom opportunity. So Savage, massive chrono, and you see if they connect on the abilities there throughout the duration, they will be able to bring down TNC.
And it's team fights like that that are needed to be able to then go on and take these towers. The TPs are immediately going to start to come out here from the Grimstroke. KP's starting to move in, but with that Glimmer Cape, not all that effective when you've got the vision from the Zeus.
Do at least get the tier 1 tower mid from Motivate, so that's a massive fight for them. We see Savage now is top of the net worth. Got a 30 kill game so far, about 18 minutes in, and an incredible one for Motivate to really get some further control. The issue is that they did pop Chrono, so we'll see if Radiant want to try and make something happen. I mean, Drow, you've got Doom available. We haven't seen that double Doom combo with the Soulbind just yet. I don't even know if we've seen a Soulbind, but that's Blink also completed, so at least the positioning from Tim's will get a lot easier.
So they did end up getting the ATOS from that as well. Also the Magic Wand completed for Q. And he's just going into the Windlace as well. So obviously needing movement speed to be able to deal with this threat coming from not only the Doom, but the Leshrac as well.
They do see... What do they see across the map? Radiant still trying to control this top side. They actually want to try and TP down KP, maybe getting set up with the help of the Leshrac. Savage got to be careful. They know exactly where he is with the farming pattern. They have this ward as well, so Savage is in big... Oh no! KP misses it. Still's going to be able to blink forward because he's underneath the wave. I mean, they're going to try and TP and Boombell, but just the damage should be enough before the ET is going to be able to provide the saving factor. He almost kills Armel though, and the Nimbus! I mean, what? You would never expect that kill to go through like that, but the fact that they got it, and our Motivator hunted for more as well. No, the Yule Scepter, the Mystic Flare, the off timing there, and now Drow actually might be able to turn around with the silence as well. Have they gone a little bit too far there with the misexecution? Oh, no point of using there when you've got an A-Tuss to set up, so they just end up losing 3. What felt really nice with at least Void offsetting kind of the death there, getting that Lesh kill, but I mean now Motivate lose 3 and this tier 1 tower might be the price as well.
And this is the kind of thing, if you make a misplay like that, the draft from TNC is the perfect type to be able to punish. Yes, you don't have the Leshrac, but you've got a Drow Ranger that's able to just sit back, not worry about anyone moving in onto him. Void, he's got the the Chronosphere though, but I'm not going to be all that concerned about defending that tier 1 tower, because it is gone.
So much more.
Baby's ultra dead, looks like he just wanted the bounty here, but he's trying to run away. No opportunity there, 100% gonna end up dying, so we get the bounties. What was the control looking like? It's just a 2 for 2, so still just, you know, we might see Die try and make something happen though, considering what has Savage got. He's still working on the BKB, but he does have the Chrono if they feel confident with smoking. Are any big items coming through? Oh, doesn't look like it at the moment.
Actually opting to max out the Echo Stomp instead of the Astral Spirit here on the Elder Titan, realizing that, oh, never mind, he is playing a pretty damn good game. Yeah, he's died 4 times, but he's been able to create a ton of space to allow Savage to now be towards the top of this net worth. He's going into his BKB next, and then that's where they're going to start shifting around their roles a little bit. But that natural order that I was mentioning before, it's at level 2, and given a lot of benefits through to this Zeus and Skywrath.
Got to keep in mind they also have the Ancient Seal, which is maxed out, so 45% increased magic damage. They are probably going to see, actually they're going BKBs. Lesh has got a blink queued up. Gabby, he has the BKB now completed, so this actually could be pretty big for Radiant for the timing for the Drow Ranger if they want to force a fight. KP is pretty close to his own as well. He's got the Ogre Axe, 2100 gold in the bank, so they're getting closer and closer towards them, but instantly scout out. You see he's just going to TP, try and join the team.
I wonder if it might have been worth using the Nimbus just to make sure that, you know, you guarantee that there is no Doom, or, you know, you've got the vision to be able to scout out if he does start to make those moves towards the top side. Maybe you can pick him off on the way.
They saw Boombell walking through the jungle, so they're well aware
They
of...
should know, yeah.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle
They
tower
pinged
is under
directly
attack.
with him placing it behind that tower. So let's see if Rady want to smoke up and go down bot. They're not set up in the moment. The issue is that you've got very good ways to scout out like a TP, or if someone's already set up in the jungle. So they might just Rosh instead. That's actually Radiant's Courier, so they're just going to walk in. I mean, you've got the Nimbus to check, but this is going to fall pretty fast here. And that's going to be a very nice trade. Oof.
Damn Australian internet.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind, it's Febby. Damn Canadian internet.
I mean, you would always presume it would have been the goddamn Aussie internet.
Yeah, just being able to take out that Roche so fast. They ended up using the Flesh Golem to be able to do so, just for that extra damage bonus. And, you know, why not? They've got a team like Motivate where you're able to pump up so much damage in such a short amount of time. Chronosphere, obviously, huge impact as we saw at that previous mid-tier 1 tower in combination with the Earth Splitter. So, yeah, just wanting to secure things. Be nice and safe.
They still haven't even taken this tier 2, because Radiant did pop that glyph, so they're going to scan instantly, well aware it's happening, but the smoke unfortunately is going to be a little bit too late. It's Radiant able to claim Roshan, so Armo's actually going to be the one to pick it up. And so Dire also leave this tier 2 tower, so they don't get any trade, and actually Boombell's just sitting up top. What the... It is so far away from the team. Like, potentially tried to TP to prevent them from taking Roche, but they'd already claimed it, and now they want to try and look to get another objective here with the tier 2 tower.
Elis is waiting, he's cutting waves a little bit underneath the guise of his smoke. Just making sure that the tower is always a constant threat, but I'm pretty sure TNC are happy enough just to take the tier 2 tower, take away the outpost, and they're just going to get out of dodge. Here we go. TP's coming out en masse.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Sims can control, never mind for a little bit here. Hope we get rid of the Embrace. Armel just a bit late, unfortunately.
Radiant's middle tower is under
I can't
attack.
recall a single soulburn that's been used this game, have you?
Yeah, no, I have yet to see the soulburn. I'm waiting for it. Very much waiting for it. They still haven't got this tier 2, and I mean, the game's going later, and if this game continues on, is there a team you're favoring, or?
I would have to say TNC, just because of Gabby going into this Midas build. He's, you know, still keeping level now on the experience
Dire's
charts with
middle tower
the
is under
Faceless
attack.
Void, but you know, eventually he's going to be able to get rid of that. It's going to have paid for itself, and he's going to be able to dish out a fair amount more damage. And that's when the BKBs start to have an impact as well. You're coming up against a Zeus and a Skywrath Mage, BKBs on multiple targets, and then suddenly you've got two heroes that are effectively useless.
The Faceless Void, he's getting pretty close to his own BKB as well, so it just needs one more component in the recipe. See if he's able to pick that up, but we're still yet to see a really big team. I guess mid with that Chrono, but that's pretty much been the only one about 24 minutes in. KP maybe thinking about trying to find Fearless, who does have Savage in the back line, so potentially trying to bait at the moment. We haven't really seen too many aggressive wards. I mean, Dai did try and play some down bot, but we saw that behind the tier 2 tower got taken away. So just kind of yes, you've got the Zeus advantage on Motivate, which makes it, you know, very difficult for TNC to kind of run in the jungle and drop down the vision.
Really hitting up onto his level 3 ultimate on the Faceless Void. There we go. So just that little bit of extra time to enable your spellcasters to get off that extra spell or two.
Fearless also got that level 20 as well, so 12% cooldown reduction. He's, you know, very, very close to the Bloodstone. Looks like he's opting for here.
Okay, so he actually went for the cooldown reduction instead of
Never mind.
Instead of the mini stun.
KP instantly pops the BKB. They're going to drop the Nimbus straight on top of Tim's. It looks like they're going to have to disengage. As that was your 10-second BKB charge for the Doom there. So they just get the kill on the support, which feels like is happening kind of frequently lately. But, you know, we're seeing this net worth is not really, you know, getting too far ahead from TNC.
No, but I don't think they need to be overly concerned about that. The timing that they're playing for is, as Gabby picks up a double damage, that'll definitely help matters. Although he's backing off, he's a little scared. Maybe just wanting to take the small camp first. Yeah. Ah, the bottle, of course.
They want to fight here. Febi's got a nice ward on the higher ground. KP's also set up as well. You got to keep in mind, no BKB for this engagement.
Gabby's been caught out a little. Oh, where's the Void?
Scout him. Armel's just going to blink forward. This is the issue. Either team, their initiation feels very awkward. Armel moving. Doesn't have a BKB. He's got that extra life. Isn't going to lose it just yet. They need a little bit of sustain coming through. And with the Stroke of Fate, will claim it. No, Mind's going to be able to deal with the back. Gets rid of the first lap. And now he's stunned up. And with the Chronosphere, however, straight on top of KP. Before he gets Doom, he's going to buy back if they want to rejoin this fight. Savage with the BKB. Chasing for more. But he's going to be careful because his magic immunity is about to wear off here. Now with the Atos controlling. Zeus, got to be careful on top of the back. He's unable to really get on top of them and dish out that damage. So it's going to be the price to pay here, as without the Chrono, there's not much that Savage can do.
They just got to wait out that BKB timing. That's what they're waiting for. Still got the potential to turn this around. Only 15 seconds left on both the Nimbus and the Thunder Gods. You can see Boombell's hanging around, Savage is hanging around. Might have to be a little bit careful because Gabby did TP into this fight.
Gabby, Leshrak just ran away as well. Could be in trouble. Feb is nearby, but what can Febby really do? Pushes back Lesh, instantly TPing, but the Glyph's a little bit too late. Febby, he's got the Glimmer Cape, but it's not going to matter. They got the detection now. Undying's going to be in trouble as well. And Armel, he face checks this. He moves pretty fast. So Savage gets a double kill. Very nicely done for Motivate. They double backed and punished TNC there.
Nice decision making coming through there from the Motivate boys. Those are the sorts of team fights that let you galvanize around each other as a team. You know, they've got some roster changes happening. They've found Armel again, perhaps. He's got his BKB, though.
Really, he's going to be forced to use it here. It might even kill off Nevermind, but the Simulate's going to be able to bounce back, and Armel actually wants to try and get the kill before he runs away. The Blink and also an Invis, so, I mean, I guess the 10-second usage for a nice kill and keeps his life as well.
And a Telescope as well, as he picks it up along the way. Nicely done.
Be pretty nice for the Grimstroke. He's holding the People's Gift at the moment just to give him a little bit of extra stats so he doesn't get bursted. But if he does want that Telescope, it might help out with, you know, finally seeing a... Did we see Soulbind last fight?
I can't remember it.
Yeah, I can't remember either. I definitely... If there was, that was the first one. I'm still waiting to see this double Doom combo as they're setting up top. KP's got it. He's going to jump forward with the War Stomp. Savage So wants to jump, but he doesn't have the chrono. It's not going to matter. Straight on top, and then with the BKB and the MKB, look at him just shred through the left track. Now they're chasing for more.
There it is.
There goes the Soulbind. It's going to drag them back, but there's no follow-up here. So it's a 1-for-1 trade with a couple of ultimates utilized there. But Motivate, at least they reclaim a kill.
Honestly, that kind of soulbind is totally fine. You know, just being able to use it onto a BKB target and prevent the chase down potential. That's what they're playing for right now on TNC. Well, both teams realistically.
Smoke pops instantly. KP's going to be able to find him here. One's not going to last for too long. Now, even with Gabby up to the side with the volleys, so...
Now that you're dead...
well, they smoke up and get a support, I guess. And, I mean, Savage has got the chrono. They want to fight. Q's in the area as well with Mystic Flare. They don't have the Zeus, but they really want to try and catch someone out here.
That's the big thing for me. I don't think you need to wait for Boom Belt. You got to wait for the Zeus to be back up online.
Radiant are
They got a ward, and they see Febby pushing up pretty far here, so an instant pick off the Skywrath Mage. Launching KP's Glimmer's not enough. He's going to have a BKB in 3 seconds. Just trying to force something out here, but I mean, he moves 550 with that active there, so he's just instantly out of there. And they got some bounties to claim as well. KP instantly bot. Try and get that one.
And that's an Aeon disc able to be purchased as well for KP. So even more so now that his BKB's starting to wear down a little bit, 8 seconds. He's just going to be able to continue being in on that front lines, not care all too much about the burst combinations coming through from Fearless as well as the Faceless Void.
And they don't really have this defensive support from TNC, so at least that Aeon disc, you know, he could honestly do the disassemble and then, you know, reassemble it once he's kind of stuck in the chrono, if that's the case, and it's, you know, really going to negate a majority of that duration there. Level is the Void. 23 at the moment. So he's going to be working. He's already got the ultimate all completed.
Scotty.
Yeah, Savage has had a very good game so far. 8-2-4, top of the net worth. And as this game continues on, he's going to have a way to be able to get on top of the draw. He's got that Time Walk cast range. He wants to go for the Chronosphere AoE as well, just to further enable this throughout it. But now with the Scotty, I mean, he's got 2800 HP to his name. So it is going to... It's going to be a tricky one to be able to deal with.
Regeneration.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Nice to be able to slow down some of the regen coming through on the Doom as well, if that's the option he chooses to go for. Same thing, preventing against the Undying Soul Rip heal, just with that Skadi heal reduction.
Oh, Void Spirit.
I thought they warned you not
Which is going to get picked off in the mid lane here. So we will see Roshan up in a minute. That's probably going to be the next big objective here is Dire. They finally get that tier 2 tower. Let's see if they can get set up around it though. I mean, Radiant have a ward kind of on their high ground. They're probably going to try and control this around the choke point.
Arcane Rune bot as well. It's being pinged out, the fact that it is there. No one seems to know what it is just yet though. I'm sure Fearless would love to be able to have that in his arsenal. Even the Void, honestly, just having the lower cooldown on the Chronosphere can be very impactful. There we go, picks it up.
Well, Scan connects, so they know someone's at least in the vicinity. They don't know where that Roshan isn't up just yet. Boom Belt.
Are they going to catch KP with his Aeon Disc?
They're going to get the vision out of the Thunder Gods. KP instantly with the Glimmer. Febby's going to try and dip up thanks to the Spider Legs as well. So they get a successful retreat, not wanting to dive too far, even though they did get that vision thanks to the Thunder Gods.
Very lucky. It took him to basically just above 70%, so that Aeon Disc didn't end up getting popped.
Radiant, they're going to smoke up though. They did get that ward de-warded on the enemy's high ground here, but they need to shove in mid before they try and make the play. You see Dire, they're a little bit away from this kind of choke point high ground with the stairs where it might pop. You see Boombill starting to get positioned instead. They want to try and go on the opposite side here and control the triangle.
They know they're coming. They're kind of positioning themselves a little bit. I agree, it probably could be a little bit better. But whenever you see a creep wave just disappear with no one hitting it, you know it's probably going to be something like
forward, never mind. Instant to simulate. Let's see if they want to chuck out the ults, but it looks like the silence forces KP to utilize that BKB. Now, with this magic immunity on cooldown, KP is going to have to back off here. They did do a very good job at wasting it and even committing the tombstone as well. So they want to try and control the area for TNC. But how long do they want to stick around, knowing without the BKB and the tomb going to be expiring, this will allow Motivate to reset and regroup and go forward for more. Is Febby? It's fine. It's got the
Just gotta be
spider legs.
patient. They gotta be patient. They've got everything that they could possibly want, and Thunder God's Wrath coming up in 15 seconds, and they should know Roshan's available. So 2 big cooldowns wasted by TNC. Now's a really nice time for Motivate.
Do they have a smoke? Or because they already smoked in there. Yeah, I don't see smoke right now from Dire in the inventory. So it looks like they're gonna just have to do it the old-fashioned way. Well, we'll have some objectives up in about 35 seconds here. So if they want to try and contest the bounties at the top side, even coming bot. I mean, they see Fearless heading towards a triangle camp. They want to maybe think about getting set up there, but this is just a game continuing to teeter around, just trying to get the lanes in a spot where it's going to make it easier for you to make a movement throughout the map here.
Fearless is nearly level 25 himself, so his damage is going to increase even further in not too long, and well, it's going to be quite heavily on his back because, never mind, he's a fair way behind in terms of the net worth now. Very nice laning phase, but it just hasn't translated into anything meaningful.
Grimbo drops the board, instantly taken away now with the ATOS on Febby. Forstaff's going to give him some protection here. So the Nimbus dropped as well, so they use a little bit there. I mean, again, it's not the biggest cooldown. They're not really going to have to worry too much. So you'll see how difficult it is for either team to initiate. You highlighted in the draft that like no one on Motivate wants to go force. It kind of, Nevermind has to be that sacrificial role almost, but it's really costing his life multiple times. I mean, you know, 7 deaths so far. He's got the Lincoln, so it will be at least a nice defensive factor. But it's still really gonna, I think Nevermind might just honestly have to sacrifice his life to allow Savage then to follow up with the counter in the chrono.
Wonder what he's going to opt to go for. I mean, obviously both Backtrack and Chrono AoE are so impactful. With all the spellcasters that they've got, there's no one else really that needs to be right-clicking. So I think the AoE Chronosphere is the way to go about this. If you're able to catch out the Drow Ranger on the backlines with that extra little bit of range, that's the value target right there.
Level is, how close is Zeus? Yeah, he's almost there. If they can actually get him, the 25 here. And just continuing to get delayed, just, you know, who's going to be the first team to make a mistake here is the real question. You know, we do see pretty much everyone's got buyback. The Lesh and the Zeus don't, along with the Void Spirit KP. I mean, Zeus can scout, so KP's in a lot of trouble here if they want to use anything.
He's got the Arcane Rune as well, so even if he does choose to do it, we'll have a pretty healthy timer to be able to reuse the spells again for the next encounter.
Bit late now, so KP, oh, well, there we go.
After they move away.
Still common if they want to think even about dropping the Nimbus. Meanwhile, actually mid lane, it looks like they used the Nimbus to help out there. So Grim's going to end up falling. Let's see if they want to now try and posture aggressively here, knowing that the Grimstroke's down. I mean, he does have a buyback available, but do they want to try and, you know, force Roshan or maybe force a team fight here as they're going to smoke up? Grimstroke's Courier would be able to scout this one out. It looks like instead they want to kill, but Gabby's well aware of this. Unfortunately, the Midas is on cooldown, but you know, they is now going to be able to utilize dropping a very aggressive ward, and they're going to go back and now take Roshan.
Grim knows this is happening. He's got the Courier in position, and they know as well with that Midas. Sorry, with that Nimbus dropping down.
We're able to find him, pops the Lincolns. Now the Doom's going to come through as well. Where's the further control? Forceloft's going to give him a chase, and now it looks like Undying just gets melted. 2 down from TNC, and that's Doom completely wasted. You need Lockdown to really be able to utilize that ulti, and just nice positioning from Q helping out Nevermind, and now they're just going to be able to give them the Aegis and the cheese for Motivate.
Nearly that level 25 as well on the Void. He's waiting to build it up. What's he building into? He's got a Nullifier and a Satanic queued up. I would say, just because he's got the Paladin sword, I'm feeling stronger about the Satanic, and he feels the same.
KP might actually get found here. Fearless going to run to the other side. So they Motivate have done a very good job to diminish what was about a 10,000 net worth lead that TNC had. Now it's down to 5,000, and they're going to look to try and get some objectives as well in the bottom lane. Armel going toe-to-toe with Fearless. He's going to be careful because he's going to end up turning, pops the BKB, but it looks like Armel with right clicks is enough. Couple of rotations coming through, but it's both the supports. KP has to pop the BKB with the wrap. Never mind. He wants to cut them off here. Let's see if he's going to be able to do so successfully. It looks like Radiant, they've already disengaged, although he's still hunting. Got to keep in mind that the BKBs have already been used. Armel just blinks in the lane, but they got the vision, and Armel, I mean, he can pop the Bloodstone active, but Radiant, they need to help him out. There's no tier 2 to TP 2, so KP
Savage is coming.
Gives him the glimmer. Here comes Savage though. Armel runs to more of the northern side in the lane. They thought he went down to the southern tree line there. So that's Zeus down for 60 seconds here. Just extra time that they're wasting the Aegis. You see, meanwhile, Tim's instantly trying to shove in mid, and Top's getting dealt with by Gabby.
It's been so long since I've seen Gabby actually turn up to a team fight. He's nearly hit his level 25 as well, by the way.
Dyer's
So
middle tower
I wonder
is
what
under
option to
attack.
choose for that. Maybe the cooldown reduction, just to be able to have, with these BKBs getting lower and lower, the gust. Or the silence duration against all these spellcasters, if they can lock down the
Might
void.
break out. They find KP, but a nice wall
Triple
something.
stun.
He's going to delay this. The BKB is still on cooldown. They're going to end up losing Boom Bell, but price is KP. Echo Storm's going to delay,
Oh,
but
they
now
found
Savage
him.
drops the Corona with the fall from the Earth Splitter as well. They need to try and bring down the Drow Ranger. Feb is going to give you some protection. Soul Rip, they're saying it's not enough. He doesn't have a buyback as well. Savage going to be able to chase more. Tim's doesn't make it on low ground, so Grimshaw's going to drop 3 down from TNC. They'll end up making it a 4th for Febby. Armel's just going to try and run a deal with the backline. Q will pay the price. Now he's going to be careful as well to hasten the river. He should be able to claim it. Armel moves so goddamn. Oh no, they purged it. That Scepter. Now he's in trouble here. Savage can continue following up. Time Rock's on cooldown, but they drop everything. Nimbus, Thunder God, Savage doesn't make it up. Although they TP it in. Fearless, he's got the wrap through. Armel, nothing he can do. Tries to utilize the flicker there. He's still got the Bloodstone active as well if he wants to try and pop it out back on the high ground. But it doesn't matter. As TNC, they end up losing 4 there. You still see that the lanes are shoved out. So it's going to take them a while to get some objectives after that fight.
It will. Fearless getting closer and closer to the refresher as well. I'm a little curious as to, I suppose it's on cooldown, but he's going to probably look to TP down towards that bottom side, make sure he's the one pushing that one in. He could still have that global presence as well.
Radiant's
He's
middle
going to fix
tower
top lane
is under
beforehand.
attack.
Well, he's even got the Timeless Relic as well, so that extra 15% spell damage going to come in clutch.
Drow's going to be up in 25. Launch, they won't have the Leshrac to at least for another 50 seconds, but he does have a buyback. See how Radiant going to be able to hold this.
Radiant's
KP's got the
middle
Doom.
tower has fallen.
So we haven't seen that double combo come through with
Radiant's
the
middle barracks are under attack.
Soulbind and KP's ulti. So we'll see if they can synergize that up for this fight. But Savage, and he's still got the Aegis for another minute 10 here, so they're going to blink forward KP. Unable to lock him in. Now he might be forced to pop the BKB. He's got the Aerontisk at least defensively. And Dyer, they're just out. They'll try and reset if they want. Savage going to go through bot. Lesh is going to be up in 20, still delaying this. Febby is going to get caught by the Atos here.
Still got a minute on that Aegis, so he's fine to continue standing on these front lines for now. Thing is, with these lanes all kind of put out of whack, there's nothing that they can do, even if they get the kill.
Such a Satanic kill. Savage just going to keep his life. Now with the Echo Stomp, actually. Tried to man to dodge it out. Nice attempt. They really need to get that first life without using the Doom. Otherwise, it's just going to completely waste the ultimate. And you see, they won't be able to. So Savage, what do they get? They get a full set of racks mid, a lot of damage onto the tier 3 bot too.
Savage, you just bought a Nullifier and it's still on the courier. There we go. He's finally realized that he had a full inventory.
He's got to be careful though, because he doesn't have buyback now, and Age is about to tick out. They got 20 seconds, so if he dies, your Radiant will push very fast with the Leshrac, who's got 25. No Edict though. Of course, the Aghanim's build going for the Lightning Storm damage.
I think they've got the timing on this Aegis. They know.
Yeah, a couple of extra seconds here. Stroke of Fate's going to force them back. Thunder Gods gives him the vision. Now they got the ward on the high ground. Febby, if he wants to drop the Tombstone, KP pops the BKB instantly. Blink 14. There we go. Soulbind. They give him the Lincolns. Can they pop it though? Drops the Chrono. Nicely done. They're going to move forward with the Refresher as well. The damage comes through from Zeus on top of the backline. KP is going to end up falling. They've got a buyback on top of Gabby as well. Gets down to the low ground thanks to the force staff Armel. They're going to be careful because Savage is going to keep in mind the BKB's worn off. So Armel is going to do the best he can straight on top of them. Tim's to the fall up as well. Savage going to try and man fight with the 8th round that keeps him in place. Gabby gets in range as well with the silence. Keeps Armel alive. The Bloodstone. No, it's not enough. and now they're trying to live steal. Savage, can he get the time walk away? He can. KP's gonna get in range just in time for the Doom. A blink forward as well. Fearless won't have the protection, but it looks like he just wants to try and man fight with the right clicks. It's not enough. He's down, doesn't have a buyback, and Gubby's hunting as well. 4-star forward. They find Fearless. Scardy's slow. He's in trouble. Stuck under the river. It's gonna be the price to pay as Motivate 4 down. Never mind. Still holding this ground though. Drow's gonna be pretty careful here. Look at the damage. Mans are out now. The silent. Never mind. Birch is off, but the flicker is gonna go back in. However, the Soulbind, he doesn't have any ultimate charges. Yours is up. Resonant Pulse protection as well. Physical damage, but it's not enough. Gabby, BKB all down. Zeus buys back, but a quick BKB. What an intense fight there.
Oh, the ninja gear as well, so even if he was trying to use any sort of Thunder Gods, it wouldn't have hit him. Whoa. Just these little plays that separate the big players. And the big thing for me as well is that Armel didn't actually need to use his buyback. That was all Gabby that was just following up, and he is carrying TNC on his back. He's finally like, all right, I've finished farming. That 30% cooldown reduction as well enables that secondary BKB to be used in that second team fight. And that's a satanic for him as well.
Man, that fight was just a knife's edge there. Who bought back? So the Zeus? Actually, the only one to buy back there to try and clean up that killed Yen. So now still Void doesn't have buyback for another 600 gold. You know, he's been down for a long time here, and if they get Zeus again, that's going to be a dieback and gives them a big opportunity here for TNC to really take a foothold in this game.
Gabby ended up selling his boots. He's got the ninja gear. He's got the Manta style already. So he feels like, you know, if I'm moving at about 350 movement speed, I'm doing all right. Oh, actually, he's swapping back and forth between the Spell Prism just for those Midas usages.
Invisibility.
What
not,
is
right?
Grim? Okay, so Grim's got minute. Yeah, I was gonna see like who would want that at the moment. Doom's also got the Aghanims. Okay, so just further a little bit of control, which they are kind of lacking. So at least that Infernal Blade and War Stomp, you can kind of chain lock it down almost. You get a bit of a break too, of course. Got to always keep that in mind with the getting rid of the Void Bash. What's probability gone up to after that fight? So it's still in favor of Motivate. I mean, even though they're down a little bit of net worth at the moment, but Radiant, mid lane, Armel. Linking forward, Q might get brought to start. They got to be careful. He will just pay the price here as Radiant, you know, being able to kind of control this top side where they have vision. They're still kind of...
It doesn't matter what Dota+ says. This is anyone's game still. I honestly call this a straight 50-50.
Armel, man, look how aggressive he's playing. I mean, he's got Octarine, Bloodstone on the backline. They found... Oh, did they find Savage actually?
Nighttime
the high ground advantage. Chrono's going to get dropped here now with the time work forward. KP is going to try and help out. Shocks at the Doom, but it looks like Armel's still going to pay the price here. They won't have the Leshrac for the fight. Undying's going to end up dropping as well. They find Gabby on top of the back, but he's going to get some distance. It looks like KP's in trouble. He's already popped the BKB, so an incredible Chronosphere from Savage is going to be able to enable them to find 3 heroes that all don't have buyback.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
That might be it, and something as little as a Moonshard providing that tiny little bit of extra bonus night vision was the thing that enabled him to actually get out of line of sight before they ended up spotting him.
All right.
Talked about in the previous series with Whitemon on the Enchantress, information being so powerful, but no info right there from TNC, and they paid the price.
They've got Glyph. Gabby's been...
Repair kit still?
They do not. So no repair kit available. Let's see what Gabby can do. Can he carry this game at the moment here? Undying's going to be up in 10 seconds, which will at least give them that Tombstone. Could be a bit of a nuisance here, but they're just zoning them back. Tier 4's about to fall. Throne is now exposed. They're going to try and chuck the Soulbind just to delay it. But look at Nevermind trying to deal with Gabby. Now pops the BKB. He's going to turn to find the ET, who's got to buy back to rejoin. They've been able to silence. Savage has to pop the BKB in time look forward. Gabby's going to get some space now with the Manta out. Savage, can he right click enough to be able to get the life steal? The bash 4 stuff once again. They're on top of the dissimulate stun. Nevermind gets both of them. Gabby doesn't have a buyback, and that's it. They've done it. Motivate. They'll take down TNC in game 1 after an incredible thriller 48 minutes in.
Very un-TNC like to have this sort of draft that's you know, a little bit more aggressive, it has to be said, than what they're typically used to. But kind of falling it back into old habits. You have the Drow Ranger having to sit in the jungle because of the laning stage that didn't quite go to plan. But man, that Chronosphere at the end of the game, Savage again showing why he is #1 on the Southeast Asian leaderboards for MMR and why he is so highly sought after and dragging his Thai friends and teammates to a victory.
We just saw in multiple fights Savage finding key heroes, and this was the thing, like TNC, they tried to itemize to protect in the chrono, you know, Febby Glimmer, Tim's Glimmer, even KP going for a Glimmer on the Doom as well, but just the multi-hero chronos that Savage was able to find and really just was able to take it over. And like you said, the fact that Gabby kind of has to go for a Midas, unfortunately having a bit of a rougher laning stage, where we usually see the Drow Ranger as a hero that can come online, really push down objectives with not having to worry about a cooldown, whereas the Void has to. So, you know, Drow has a decent timing where you can end the game before the Void really feels strong, but the late game, it can get pretty rough. You know, you've got this, you know, built-in movement mechanic with, you know, with the time walk, you know, even the talent's going to buff that up, so you can really just always get on top of the Drow. And it was just a game where in the end, Motivate, they execute a couple extra team fights to their favor.
Yeah, very, very convincing, and Motivate, they'll be breathing a sigh of relief because that brings them to 2 and 3 on the wins. Now TNC 3 and 2, but we've still got a game #2 of this series, so should be in not too long, probably around 7-8 minutes or so.
We'll chuck it to a quick break, and then we'll have game 2 right around the corner, guys. You don't want to miss it, between Motivate and TNC.